Good afternoon and welcome everyone to this May 8th, 2012 meeting of the Rotary Club of West Olympia. It's great to see such a great turnout for our 16th annual Dick Nichols Scholarship Awards event and luncheon. I'm Bruce Smith, the current president of our club, and we'll begin the meeting with an invocation by Alan Miller, Pledge of Allegiance by Martin Meyer, four-way test by Assistant District Governor Bruce Stewie, and music, America the Beautiful, played by Bev Massini on the piano and song leader Phil Austin. Alan.
Dear God, we thank you for this opportunity to be with our great students and celebrate our students and community. Bless us food to our use and us to the service of others. Amen.
Thank you. And Martin?
Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in the pledge to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First,
Is it the truth?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
and fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Bev. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Thank you, and you may be seated. I'd now like to introduce the guests at the head table to my right, beginning with Riley Moore, president of the Olympia Rotary Club. Randy Luke, president-elect of the Hawks Prairie Club. Scott Ahlf, president of the Lacey Club. Riley Moore, Assistant District Governor Bruce Stewie again. And Bob Soley, president-elect of the Tumwater Club. And with that, I'll turn the meeting over to Steve Henderson, who will introduce the rest of the front table.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for that warm reception. It's all right. It's early. We'll get started here. So I'm going to introduce the head table to my left, and to my far left is Lexi Dunham, who is the granddaughter of Dick Nichols, and she is 5 years old. We calculate she will be a Nichols Award winner in about, 2023, somewhere along there? And next is Carol Lee Nichols, who is Dick's wife. And of course, Dick Nichols, who I will introduce in just a minute. Oh, well, I'll do that. How's that? We also have some members from Joint Base McChord Fort Lewis here. Could you all stand as a group and we could recognize you, please?
593rd Special Troops Battalion.
Thank you for your service to our country. This is the 16th, believe it or not, the 16th annual Dick Nichols Recognition Luncheon. And special thanks to all the Rotarians who are here, the students, the parents, the relatives, teachers, and school administrators who are attending this special scholarship recognition luncheon. We are here to recognize 14 outstanding students who are chosen by their schools. And that's important to emphasize. We as Rotary clubs, or as a Rotary club, we do not select these students. Each high school sends us a boy and girl who they feel are their most outstanding students. And I'll tell you the criteria in just a minute. But those 7 high schools are Capital, Olympia, North Thurston, River Ridge, Timberline, Tumwater, and Black Hills. 16 years ago, in 1997, when we began these awards, we were able to raise a total of $3,000 and gave 2 scholarships to only 2 students then received scholarships of the $1,500 each. And our Rotary Committee just had a very difficult time out of the 12 students to try to find what we thought were somehow the best 2. And that just, it was difficult doing that, as you might imagine. Now, we raise $14,000, and each one of these students receives a $1,000 scholarship. So it's important for us to recognize all of the sponsors, and there's a tent card on each one of the tables, which has a list of all of our sponsors. Have we got the tent card up here? Let me. I want to read the tent card because I want to recognize these sponsors. The grand sponsors are West Olympia Rotary, Heritage Bank, and Lacey Rotary. The sponsors are Hawks Prairie Rotary, KGY Radio, Olympia Federal Savings, Olympia Rotary, the Olympian, Red Lion Hotel, and Thurston Community Television. The associate sponsors are Dan Burschauer Mediation Services, Rod and Carol Cook, Law Lyman Daniel Kammerer and Bogdanovich Lawyers, Nicholson and Associates Insurance, Rainier Dodge, Washington Business Bank, West Bay Marina, and West Coast Bank. And the Friends of Scholar Athletes are Sally Beckwith, Bronze Automotive, Nancy Farron, the Guardsman Menswear and Tuxedo Rental, Dirk Havlick, MD, Stephen J. Henderson, Donna and John Corvell, Larry Lynn, Law Offices of Alan Miller, Dick Nichols, Larry Norwood, Robert Perlow, DMD, the Rance Group, John Swanick and Wendy Holden, and Virgil Adams Real Estate. So please join me in recognizing our sponsors, if you would. Any of you who would like to help us next year, you can contact any Rotarian in the community, and I'm sure they will put you in touch with our club or their club to help sponsor. Why do we give these awards? There are 3 reasons. First, this is the only citywide award for high school seniors that brings together the cities of Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater as one community. Secondly, it gives us a chance in person to honor these outstanding young people and their achievements. And we, as community leaders and the parents and family, today witness what they have achieved during their high school experience. And third, it's a chance to honor Dick Nichols, a good citizen, all-around supporter of our young people in this community, many years as an announcer at KGY Radio, and we as a community appreciate what he has done for our community. In addition to these scholarships, as I mentioned before, each of these students will receive a recognition award today for their achievements. We believe Rotary offers a perfect forum to bring together these sponsors and these students to honor their achievements. So what are we recognizing? First, we're recognizing outstanding athletic achievement. We ask the schools to choose those who their teammates look up to, those who play multiple varsity sports and are captains of their teams, and frequently are voted most inspirational participants. Secondly, we honor and recognize outstanding academic achievement. not just good grades, but difficult subjects that they've taken, advanced placement and international baccalaureate classes. In fact, one school here, Capital, both of our students are taking IB tests today, so they couldn't be here. So we're going to have either parents or somebody else help receive their award. And also true of Olympia High School. They're taking AP tests today, so they're on their way. Terrific. And thirdly, as Rotarians, we think it's important that we recognize their community service and the service to their school. So these students are all multiple achievers, if you will, and that's why it's so much fun to recognize them. This year, we've done something different that we haven't done previously. We've inserted in the program a list of all of the past winners over the last 15 years, and we've included these winners today. So as you read through those, you may recognize some names in our community who those students have achieved great things when they were in high school and going forward. I want to introduce the West Olympia Committee from our Rotary Club who has put this event together. First, Teresa Dean, who's been in charge of awards. Teresa, where are you? Coming downstairs. Teresa, I just introduced you. You can wave to everybody. And Sandy DiBernardo from Olympia Federal. She was in charge of publicity and arranging this event and the PowerPoint presentation. Sandy, would you please stand up? We had help contacting the potential sponsors, and those persons are Neil Falkenburg and Dale Kammerer. I know Neil, you're here. Stand up. And, oh, where's Dale? Dale, I'm sorry. And lastly, Larry Norwood helped with the applications and the school contacts. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Dick Nichols, who 16 years ago I went over to his office at the county courthouse and asked him if he would be interested in lending his name to this event. And I think he probably thought it might have been an Amway deal or something I was trying to convince him to do. But as it's turned out now, this is a pretty neat deal, Dick, that we've been able to do this, and thank you for allowing us to use your name. So please come up and give us your remarks today.
Thank you, Steve, President Bruce, distinguished Rotarians, and everyone else in the room. It's a real pleasure to attend this event and to be here today. As the late, great Tom Allen, former mayor of Olympia, used to say, at my age, it's good to be anywhere today, but particularly here. My thanks to the Rotary clubs in the area, particularly the West Olympia Rotary Club, which really created this event as a way to honor outstanding young people in our community and to let people know that it's not just athletics. We get a lot of attention to that in this country of ours, and that's fine, but that it's the idea of scholarship and beyond that, even maybe the most important, community service that we like to honor, because without that outreach that an individual makes, life's really not worth living. And so the idea of living beyond yourself, as the Rotary Club slogan says, service above self. Very critical concept. And also, when we did the four-way test for Rotary, if you don't remember it, I would suggest to you young folks, because basically I'm going to be talking to you and the others can eavesdrop if you'd like. Read it and think it, internalize what that four-way test really says. It's a great way to look at life. It's wonderful, as I said, to be here, and I don't ordinarily get off on individuals, but a couple of times in 16 years of this, it's kind of interesting to talk about a couple of people. Number one, my daughter, youngest daughter, both of my kids went to Tumwater High School. My youngest daughter was a fast pitch player in our community program, and one of our rival teams that we played against was coached by a very nice lady named Kay Marquette, who has a daughter, Lori, who happened to be a classmate of my daughter, and Rob Hinkle, who is they're the parents of one of our honorees, Daniel Hinkle. And to see that circle get filled with people that I've known Lori and Rob since they were really little, and Bev Hinkle, the grandma and the mom of the Hinkle clan in Tumwater. You think you or I either want to admit how long we've known each other, but it's really neat. To see Matt Reid here, to know that I broadcast a lot of ball games that his dad, Mike, played at North Thurston, and Uncle Marty, who later was Tumwater High School's coach. It's just really interesting the way this works out. Also, Dominick Francks from Olympia High School just came, and I see that he's going to Stanford. He is 2 under par in a golf tournament he's in. He won the state championship last year. And I want to know you to know, Dominick, that I am retired, but I work cheap as a sports agent. And I won't, nothing like Scott Boros charges. Trust me, it's nickels and dimes. That's how this really works out. But we honor all of you young people today, and you are really very fortunate people. First of all, you're fortunate because you're intelligent. It reminds me of John Kennedy, the late President Kennedy's comment one time when he had the Nobel Prize winners at the White House. And his comment was, "We have more brain power assembled in this room than any time in history, except when Thomas Jefferson dined here by himself." But you do have the blessing of brain power. And I noticed that Rick Ahlf has a 4-point grade point average. I grew up in Shelton. I spent the 3 hardest years of my life there, 2nd grade. But by the time I got to high school, I finally manufactured a 4-point grade average. I want you, Rick, to know that I was able to achieve that. A 1.0 in each of my freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years. And so I could count to 4, and that was good enough for me. You're also very blessed because you are gifted people, not just physically talented and gifted, but you have other skills. You're very fortunate that you were able to play competitive athletics where you learn how to be a good teammate. And that's really what life's all about. That's what this world is all about. In the biggest sense of it all, being a good teammate. You know how to set goals. You know how to trust other people and develop loyalty so that they will trust you. You know how to handle adversity. When you're down, you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again, as the song says. But the other thing that you have to learn is the humility it takes to handle success. And I would argue it's harder to handle success than it is to handle failure, but it's a skill to be able to do both of these things. You've learned accountability. You've learned responsibility. And with all of that, you are well equipped with your brains and your other talents to go out and make something of yourself and produce something in this world. And finally, you are very blessed in a time of dislocation in society to have the support group you have around you, the parents and the grandparents who love you, the coaches and teachers and all of your friends who give you constant nurturing and support. And you know you didn't do this great achievement by yourself. It's because you came from somewhere, from people that care. So I'm going to say that you 12 ought to consider yourselves, as Lou Gehrig used to say, the luckiest people alive. Beyond that, I'm thinking every year, what do I say to a group of teenagers? I mean, I graduated from high school. Your parents weren't born. In fact, a lot of people weren't born when I graduated. So you try to say, what can you say that would be remotely relative to people who don't share, actually from a sense of really feeling it, much of what I know about life? And I was looking at the Olympian yesterday, and I was exhilarated by what happened today in history note, that Germany surrendered were in World War II, 67 years ago yesterday, and a lot of you people weren't even alive when that happened. That was a huge part of my life growing up. The patriotism and the love you felt for this country, and to see us win that one, and then later on, the other surrender happened, and the United States really emerged. But, that doesn't relate a lot to you. I thought about the moon landing in July 20th of 1969. Now, some of you folks, parents, might have been in first or second grade when that happened. This is 1969, way before you kids were ever here. So then I jump forward to 9/11, the year 2001. Now, I finally got you at a time when you're in grade school. You're 5 or 6 probably, if you're 17 and 18 now. And almost all of your life, in fact, all of your life since then, we've been in Afghanistan and Iraq. We're not out of there yet. And when I have a moment, I'd like to say my personal blessing and great thank you to the military in this country and you folks who are here with us today. Another hand, as far as I'm concerned, for what you do for us. So then I go on and I'm thinking about the world that you live in. I thought, okay, this is internet dominated. What about that? Well, 1950s, when we were mucking around with computers, is when some scientists and other people got thinking about the internet as a possibility. It didn't really develop until the late 1980s and the early 1990s. In 1993, and we're talking 19 years ago, only 1% of two-way communications in this country was occurring on the internet. 1%. Now, the rest of it was telephones, remember those? That real, mail, people sent people letters. Today, it is almost 100%. And in 2007, it was 97% two-way communication happening that way. Facebook came around in 2003. I still haven't got a Facebook account. Twitter, 2006. And think about Twitter. It was a great tool for the revolutionaries in Egypt to take down their government with twittering. I mean, you stop and think, it's kind of scary in some ways, but the power of technology that is emerging, and we're in the pioneer days right now. We have no idea where this is going. YouTube, 2005, and what's next. In 1440, Gutenberg invented the printing press. Now, that's even before I was born. And before then, there was no means of mass communication at all. But all of a sudden, you could do pamphlets and books and things like that. You could print a Bible that people didn't have to go to a monastery to read. Between 1440 and 1993, 556 years of history elapsed. And the mass communication that we did in that 556 years was basically newspapers, pamphlets, written material, television, and radio, and word of mouth. But since 1993, newspapers are going bye-bye, AM radio's in trouble, television is extremely varied, and the reality is you can pull a cell phone out of your pocket and be your own television station. You can talk to anybody, see anything. It is absolutely unbelievable, the power that you carry around in your hand. So you stop and you think about that kind of a world. It is totally different. Jim Nesbitt, when he wrote Megatrends back in the 1970s, says people would need high tech, we've got that, and high touch. I worry a little bit about high touch. If you're completely on the machine and you're Twittering and Facebooking, you never have to meet another person. And I think human beings need personal contact. Reminds me of that story of the two people sitting in a funeral parlor in front of a casket. There are a lot of rows of chairs and nobody in them except these two people. And one person said to the other, I don't understand where everybody is. He's got 2,000 friends on Facebook. But there was nobody at the funeral. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of sad too. Well, anyway, you young folks in this room are tomorrow's leaders. Your sports stuff's going to come to an end very quickly, but you need to get a good education and serve the community that will follow you all of your life. So we expect a lot of you because a lot has been given to you, and we call on you to live a life of service. service above self, as the Rotary's Club talks about, as you build your careers, have your own families, and affect the world that you live. And finally, 3 unasked for little pieces of advice to you. Number 1, be a good citizen. Register, if you aren't already, to vote, and then vote every time an election comes. I've never missed one. The first thing I did when I hit my 21st birthday is registered to vote. I've never missed an election, and I never will miss one. I cherish the fact that I have this unique gift to be able to vote, and not enough people are doing it right now, and don't be like that. Secondly, be a critical thinker. Don't just fall for the superficial or the bumper sticker or the latest slogan that comes around. Think a little deeply, get below the surface, probe a little bit, and do critical analysis before you decide what you're doing. Kind of reminds me of the temperance speaker speaking to a group of people about the evils of alcohol, and he took out 2 glasses, filled one of them with water, one with 120 proof Kentucky bourbon, put them on the lectern, took 2 worms out of his pocket, one in the water, one in the bourbon. The one in the water swimming around, no problem. The other one died instantly. And the speaker says, what point am I trying to make with this demonstration? And the guy on the front row says, I've caught it. What's that? If you got worms, drink bourbon. Not good critical analysis. You can do better than that. Finally, please live an examined, looking at yourself for who and what you are, and a principled way of life. You know, it's important to do things right, but it is much more important to do the right things. Thank you very much, and now let's meet you and hear your stories. I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. As usual, great remarks, and I was struck with your comment about Facebook and Twittering, and I think that's one of the, in a way, magical aspects of this event, is that we get to see these students in person and meet them and congratulate them, and that's a nice part of this event. So I'm going to call now on Teresa Dean, and she is going to explain the awards that we're going to give to each one of these students. Teresa.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, and heartfelt congratulations to each of our student winners and your families as well, because it takes a village to raise a successful young person, and good job. We have put together these awards as an acknowledgement of your hard work and dedication to all the things you've been doing over these past 4 years, and likely much longer than that. Your dedication to your academics, your athletics, your community service, your critical thinking, because I believe that you've been doing that up to this point to get to where you are. So, as Dick said, keep that going on. We're all very proud of you and impressed with your accomplishments, and you should all be very proud of yourselves too. Sometimes it's hard to take that recognition. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes, but you worked very hard, and so be very proud of that. So along with your $1,000 scholarship, we've put together a nice commemorative portfolio for you that hopefully goes along to University of Washington, Stanford, wherever you might find yourself going to college, and that it becomes part of your next step in life. So we have a portfolio for each of the students. And this maybe is old-fashioned now because you probably have everything in your cell phone and electronically. But anyway, within the portfolio, we also have a pen, and the portfolio is marked the Rotary Dick Nichols 2012 Award recipient, so you'll remember that always. But then inside, we have a special Rotary certificate that's signed by our current president, Bruce Smith, and Dick Nichols. We have a congratulatory letter from your principal at your high school. We have a congratulatory letter from the governor of the state of Washington. And we have a special congratulatory letter from your parents. And so hopefully you'll find these things to be very helpful in helping you celebrate your accomplishments and achievements in receiving this award from the Rotary Club. And we all wish you continued success in all that you do. And let's get on with the show. Thank you.
So the drill is that all of the Rotary presidents, as well as our assistant district governor, will stand down in a line. I'm going to introduce each one of the students. Teresa and Dick will give them their award. Dick, you're going to be right here. And you're going to line up right here. Sometimes getting Rotary presidents to follow instruction is sort of like herding cats. Very good. So we're going to start with Black Hills High School, and the first student is Cameron Stone. Cameron, now you're going to stand right in front of me and face the group, and this is part of your suffering here. You have to listen to me talk about you. Cameron Stone has a 3.98 grade point average. He is in the top 10% of his class and received an award for that. He is a 4-year Evergreen Conference All-Academic Award winner, varsity football, wrestling, and baseball, 3 different varsity teams. And he volunteers as a mentor coach of Pee Wee football. Cameron plans to attend Washington State University. Please recognize Cameron Stone. And I think we need more instruction too. Cameron, when you're done, you need to stand right over here, because when we're done, we're going to have the whole group of you students. Cameron, we want you to stand right over in front of the Black Hills. Right there. Perfect. The next student from Black Hills High School is Ellie Justice. Ellie has a 3.97 grade point average. She participated in varsity cross country and tennis and was the cross country runner of the year. She earned Academic All-American awards her last 4 years and was a member of National Honor Society. She received the AP Scholar Award. She is the student body vice president at Black Hills, and she is the National Honor Society historian. She volunteers at Hands-On Children's Museum and helps with various church activities. Ellie will attend the University of Washington. Please recognize Ellie Justice. Next, from Capital High School. Now, the 2 Capital students are taking their IB test. So the first recipient is Cameron Falkenburg, and his parents are going to accept the award for him, Neil and Cheryl Falkenburg. Please come forward. Cameron has a 3.91 grade point average. He was the captain of his varsity soccer, swimming, and tennis teams. He's the newspaper editor-in-chief for this year. He received the Academic All-American Award for the last 4 years at Capitol High School. He's the president of Capitol High School's Rotary Interact Club. He volunteers at Thurston Food Bank. And he's a CISPAS camp counselor. He plans to attend Gonzaga University in the College of Engineering. Please recognize Cameron Falkenburg. The other student from Capitol High School is Aviva Browning, and accepting the award is Bill Lamond, who is the superintendent of the Olympia School District. I tried to get the prettiest face in the room, and I didn't succeed, did I, Bill? Right. Yeah. Aviva Browning has a grade point average of 3.97. She earned Academic All-American Award her last 4 years. She is a top 12 Academic Award class of 2012 member. She's the team captain of her cross-country team and the most valuable player on her cross-country team. She also participated on track and chamber and symphony orchestra. She volunteers at Hands-On Children's Museum and as a tutor for elementary students. She plans to attend Lewis and Clark College. Please recognize Aviva Browning. Now from North Thurston High School, please recognize Matt Reid. I've got to assume the position here, Matt. Matt has a grade point average of 3.99. I think we all want to know who the teacher is who gave you who gave you an A minus. He is a Washington Scholar nominee and was a Math and Science Student of the Month. He's the captain of the varsity basketball and football teams at North Thurston High School. He volunteers as a coach and mentor for Pioneer Technologies, basketball camps, and RAM basketball camps. He plans to attend the University of Puget Sound. Please recognize Matt Reid. Next from North Thurston High School is Catie Metz. Hi, Catie. Catie has a 3.73 grade point average. She received the 4-year Scholar Athlete Award in both basketball and volleyball at North Thurston High School. She participated in varsity women's basketball, volleyball, and track, and she was the junior class vice president and Interact club president. She volunteers with Little Red Schoolhouse and Sacred Heart Catholic Church. She plans to attend Linfield College. Please recognize Catie Metz. And we have Olympia High School here, right? So our first recipient from Olympia High School is Dominick Francks. Dominick Francks has a 3.91 grade point average. He's the 2011 National Merit Scholar honoree and Narrows League Most Valuable Player in basketball. He participated in varsity basketball, where he was the team captain, and varsity golf. He is the 2011 WIAA State Golf Champion for the state of Washington in the 4A division. He plans to attend Stanford University. Please recognize Dominick Francks. He's going to give us golf lessons, isn't he? Dick, can we arrange that?
I'm not that serious about being aged.
I know, we know, yeah. Stand in line. Our next student from Olympia High School is Alex Bassett. Alex has a 3.87 grade point average. She's the captain of her varsity volleyball and basketball teams. She's a 4A title for Washington State Girls Basketball Academic State Champion for their academic awards, and also for JV volleyball and varsity volleyball academic awards. She has had the highest GPA on all of those teams, volleyball and basketball. She volunteers for Thurston County Animal Shelter and Grub. She plans to attend Eastern Washington University. Please recognize Alex Bassett. And what I'm thinking is maybe we could start a second row for our students so they can kind of bunch up a little bit. There we go. Next, River Ridge High School, Gregory Hirschberger. Gregory. Gregory has a 3.91 grade point average. He's graduating 4th in his class. He's a participant in varsity soccer, track and field, and cross country, and is the team captain of his cross country team. He's the student body vice president. Also a lifeguard and an Eagle Scout recipient. He volunteered with Boy Scouts of America and served as a junior board member of Olympia Ski Club. He plans to attend the United States Naval Academy at Annapolis. Please recognize Gregory Hirschberger. Next from River Ridge High School is Samira McDonald. Samira. Samira has a 3.84 grade point average. She participated in varsity girls basketball and fast pitch and varsity cheerleading. She received 4 all-academic awards and was the Associated Student Body Treasurer. She volunteered as a sports mentor, Hawks Hoops program mentor, referee at junior boys and girls basketball camps. She plans to attend St. Mary's University in California. Please recognize Samira McDonald. Next, from Timberline High School, Rick Ahlf. Rick. Rick has a 4-point grade point average. He's graduating 1st in his class at Timberline High School. He received the Director's Award of Excellence at Evergreen Boys State and is an AP Scholar and National Honor Society member, graduating with honors. He participated in 3 varsity sports, football, basketball, and baseball. He volunteers as a youth camp coach, math tutor, and lifeguard. He plans to attend the Arizona State University in the Barrett Honors College. Please recognize Rick Ahlf. And his uncle, Scott Ahlf, is the president of the Lacey Rotary Club. That's more than just a handshake, I noticed that. Now from Timberline High School, please recognize Anna Pritchett. Anna has a 3.85 grade point average. She received a Superior Award in editorial writing, and she was the Journalism Club president, assistant editor-in-chief of the Blazer news magazine. Anna participated in varsity soccer and tennis and was a Timberline theater performer. She volunteered at Lacey Parks and Rec, Brentwood Preschool, and participated in a Cambodia missions team trip. She plans to attend Biola University. Please recognize Anna Pritchett. Next, from Tumwater High School, Daniel Hinkle. Daniel has a 3.37 grade point average. He was the captain of his varsity basketball and football team. He was the quarterback of the state championship game for Tumwater High School and voted most valuable player in the state in their division in the championship game. He volunteers with Tumwater youth football and basketball camps, helps with East Olympia Kindergarten Roundup and Reading Night. He plans to attend South Puget Sound Community College. Please recognize Daniel Hinkle. Next, from Tumwater High School, Annie Torfin. Annie has a 3.92 grade point average. She is a 4-year honor roll student and a 4-year All-League Academic Award recipient for volleyball and track. She's the team captain for her varsity volleyball and track team. She volunteered as a Link Crew member, Cancer House Spaghetti fundraiser, and a kids' volleyball camp. She plans to study engineering and mathematics. Annie, where are you going to college?
Still don't know.
Right? Well, I'm sure it's going to be a success wherever you go. So please recognize Annie Torfin. You guys all want to come this way? Just the club presidents. Stand over here next to Dick, on the other side of Dick. Now can we, as a group, recognize our class of 2012, the Rotary Dick Nichols Award recipients? That's the end of our meeting. Please come up and meet the students, and thank you all for coming this year.